Y'all, we are at 10 episodes. This feels like a milestone for me because I'm a creative, so I go with the flow. And sometimes I feel like it, and sometimes I don't. But this podcast has really made me be on the weekly. I don't think I've ever been so consecutive at anything besides masturbate. That's always consecutive. Anyways, I'm wearing an amazing blazer. Let's get into it. Hello, world. Come inside. The Dear Juju podcast. You guys, I got something sent to me. HEWKO, Kate Hugo. And they sent me this blazer. They sent me their link and they said, pick whatever you want. And I said, oh, baby, give me the Diamante Bows. And I thought it was very apropos for our 10th episode celebratione. I have had just the best and the worst week altogether. You know, that's life. Sometimes you're up, sometimes you're down. I went out of town to Miami and Benito a Miami with Shakira for a commercial, and it was amazing. Now, Shakira had to have her own choreographer. And I was like, how's this going to work? You know, sometimes your bosses like match you up with people and you're like, no, of course. No, I'm fine. But it's also just like you don't know the dynamics. Shakira's choreographer she's so amazing. Her name's Maite. She's been with her for about 13 years. She wanted to keep her moves. So they're using a certain song with the commercial, and they wanted to keep the moves consistent with like her music video and her tour since she just announced her tour. And I was like, okay, I get it, because it's very specific in the way that she moves. It's definitely not the way I move, so I'm glad that she was there to set the moves. Then what I did is I done swooped in, and I was the commercial choreographer of the world, as I'm a director, so I see things in the frame. Sometimes a lot of, when you do it for stage, you set it shoulders are forward, you maybe have some formations, but that's about it. Now, when you're in film and television and commercial world, all we care about is the frame. So you can turn it, twist it, break it, cut it, do a knee slide, let the camera go low, spin in, dip out. So I think in frames. So it actually was a really beautiful marriage. They did fly me first class. And flying first class is such a damn, it's a gateway drug, because you get addicted to that first class. Now flights are just better in first class. They are. They give you champagne before you lift off. Their food is, they come around damn near wiping your ass every 2 seconds. Can I get you anything, Miss Waters? Miss Waters, what would you like? Miss Waters, would you like more champagne? I'm like, yes. Yes, I would love a hot towel. Thank you so much. Ain't nobody doing that schlepping back in coach. And I love it because then I don't have to pay for it either. And I did get a little time to myself. I met up with a friend. We had some cocktails and some tapas. I put my feet in the sand. I went swimming. No shopping, but that was about it. It was a good time though. And let me tell you, the culture in Miami is very different than 15 years ago when I was on tour and went there a bunch of times. There was Italians, there was Venezuelans, there was Colombians, and maybe it's been like that all the time, but this felt even more of a melting pot. It used to feel solamente cubanos, and now it's like my waiter was Italian, the lady at the Starbucks was Italian, my girl was Colombian, the hair people were Venezuelan, one of the dancers was Argentinian, and people were speaking Spanglish, which I just think is so much fun because that's what I speak, because I don't know how to conjugate everything. So I'm like, yeah, put that in a basura, and then I just know my vocabulary and then I come back to it. Oh, I forgot to tell you. Breaking news. Okay, this is very important. Okay, one of my nails I hit when I was cleaning or something, and then it felt weird, like it was popping off. My nail actually lifted away from my finger. I've had my nails on pretty much for damn near the past 7 years, no breaks. I've only taken 2 breaks when I was breastfeeding my son and when I was breastfeeding my daughter for a little bit, like right when they're newborns. I'm like, okay, I'm going to be in a baby bubble. I'm going to be, breastfeeding, my gut's bleeding, my tits are leaking. Like, this is a good time to maybe give my nails a break. But just on the general, no. So I went to my nail technician and I was like, so I'll be back in a couple weeks. She was like, oh no, girl, that's got to grow out completely. Otherwise you're going to lose your nail all the way. I'm like, oh, well, if the universe isn't making me do that. So I have on no nails and it feels weird. It feels like, I don't know, just a part of me is missing. And I know it's not. I know I'm me without my nails, but the glam is not really there. But I know this is more what like the fashion girls do in New York City. So they're so classy and they think that the acrylics or whatever are just so tacky. But I don't give a shit, honey. I'm old Hollywood, I'm classic, I'm glamour, and I like my red nails. So, this past week has really been chock full, okay? We have me flying first class to Miami, shooting a commercial with Shakira, 5 days by myself and in the beach and in South Beach. Cut to, as soon as I come home, my daughter being sick, having to be on antibiotics, and my son, not 1, not 2, but 3 days. If you have a queasy stomach, just pause for a second. Throwing up in his bed. Then they have a bunk bed, and their bunk bed is like a T, okay? So it's not like parallel on top of each other. My daughter's bed cuts out. He sat up, felt sick, threw up in his bed, looked to his right, then threw up all over his sister. So we're talking multi-level throw up. Pukage here, okay? The universe was like, oh, you forgot. You forgot you were a mom? Well, honey, let me remind you. It's just like back to life, back to reality. And, I kind of love that dualism. I kind of love that, if you want to be humbled in this life, just have kids. Oh, they'll humble you right out. You want to have your own time? You want to have sleep? You want to learn about your triggers? Or ding, ding, ding. You want to clean throw up like your Cinderella? Yes. But you know what? I have my Prince Charming. I have my kids. And you know what? This morning, as my daughter was laying then on my chest after having no sleep and having the craziest night, and she's like, "Good morning, Mommy. I love you." I just sat there with the weight of her on my chest. And I just thought, it's all worth it. I love them so much. They are just my dream come true. And you know what? I think God knew what he was doing, because if I would have had them in my 20s, honey, I would have been like, figure it out. Here's some saran wrap. Okay? Throw up in that. I got to go. But now that I'm in my 40s and I have a 3 and a 6-year-old, I can just, because I wanted them for so long and so bad, I think I can just really appreciate it and appreciate the dualism and laugh at it. To me, it's freaking hysterical. If you can really be the observer and stay on the beach and watch the waves. Oh, there's a little wave. Up, there's a big wave. Up, there's a little wave. Up, there's a big wave. You know what I mean? You'll be a lot happier if you can kind of disassociate yourself from everything that's going on and just be like, shit is crazy. Cheers. Now let's get into some cooking, some cocktails, some decor, honey. Now, while I was in Miami, we went to Joe's, which was so much fun. I had the best crab legs, lobster, and it really inspired me. I one time made Ina Garten's Lobster Bisque with corn and the potatoes and the lobster. And that's what I'm making. My mother's coming in town for Mother's Day. We're going to have a whole Mother's Day blowout with my sister, my mom, me. My Mother's Day is going to be, Mother's Day off kind of a thing. But we're giving it to my mom because her mom just passed away. So we really want to be there for her in this time. It's her first Mother's Day without her mom. We really need to support her. She's having a hard time right now. So we're just going to have the best weekend. I have the itinerary chocked full. Oh, and it's also my niece's graduation from high school. She'd never been to LA. So I'm like, we're going to the movies in the cemetery called Cinespia. We're going to this restaurant and this restaurant. We're going to go to the Korean spa where all the women walk around naked. We're going to go to the beach. We're going to go to Hollywood Boulevard. We're going to go to Melrose. We're going to go to the Rose Bowl flea market. Like, we are packing it in. That's going to be really fun. That comes up on Mother's Day. And then actual Mother's Day, we're staying at a beautiful hotel with a pool. My kids are going to come swim for a little bit, and we're going to have some champagne by the rooftop pool. It's going to be great. I'm so excited. So I have to cook for them one night when they come in. When they land, they were like, listen, we want to have a feast. We want you to cook for us. And I'm going to make lobster bisque. Ina Garten has the best recipe for lobster bisque. It is gorgeous. You use the shells to make the stock. And I think it's just going to be a really elegant start to Mother's Day. Some lobster bisque. Now, on to cocktails. I ordered a classic martini. And if you haven't had a classic martini lately, go ahead and pour yourself one. I do gin, vermouth, and then I don't like my martinis dirty. Bitch, I like them filthy. Just like me. And let me tell you, I like it shaken. A lot of people say, don't shake your martinis. It bruises the gin. Always stir. But then it's just not as cold. Like, just shake it and give it to me in a frozen glass with 3 olives. Okay? That's what we're doing. Decor. All right, so it's about to start heating up, and we have only a front yard. We don't have a backyard. So my husband said, which umbrella do you want? Now, here's the thing. If I can't have an umbrella with the edges, with the fringe, with the bright color, we're doing a stripe, okay? So Isimo, if you guys don't know Isimo, come on. There is a hotel in Italy called Hotel Pelicano. It's like the Pelican Hotel. They are known for their yellow and white stripe. And when I grew up, my dad used to only wear Giorgio Armani, which had yellow and white stripes. So to me, when I see yellow and white, I think the French Riviera, I think the ocean side in Italy. So we are into a stripe. And they have kind of branched off and started like a design company with plates, with designers. They have pajamas, all kinds of things, robes. And it's called Isimo because you can say bellissimo. And when you add Isimo to the end of any of their words, it just means like a lot, right? So if you're not going to do a vintage style umbrella this summer, yellow, fringe with the loops, with the top that looks like it's from a circus from the 1930s. That's what I would love to do. He was like, listen, we need one that's durable and that will last, not your pretty crap. Go for a stripe. Okay, get your shade, protect your skin. Don't age under a striped umbrella, bitch. That's what we're doing for decor. All right, now it's time for everyone's favorite, and by everyone I mean mine. A little Q&A with some TNA. Okay, let's ask Juju. Here we go. Dear Juju, how do you feel about women who embrace when their hair changes to gray? Yes! Again, come on, guys. You know this. I am all about do you, boo, period. Now, this is what I will say, though. Make sure you have the right coloring for it. I don't think everyone has the right coloring for that gray. So if you want to look your best, I think the gray is chic. I think it's stylish. Make sure you have the right texture. Make sure you have the right cut. And make sure you have the right skin coloring to do that. And if you just frickin' want to, go for it. My mother-in-law just went all gray, and it looks so good, but she has really thick hair, and it's a bob, and it's fun, and she's so fun and lively and has such personality that it totally works. I would always feel like, because I've never done light, like my hair's always been dark, that I would need to be like super tan all the time or something. Now, maybe that's just a weird thing of mine, but just make sure the coloring looks good with your skin tone. But go for it. Embrace that shit. Who cares? Dear Juju, what was your first experience of going to a sex toy store like? Please give details. Oh my God. So there is a store in Los Angeles called Pleasure Chest, like treasure chest. And I thought that shit was hysterical. And my first experience was lovely. They have the nicest helpers ever. They are so open, comfortable in their skin. I almost felt like I was home. I was like, yes. They were like, hi, what would you like? Would you like a sucking? Would you like a penetrating? Anal beads? What can I help you with today? It's like Targets for freaks. It was hilarious. I loved it. I was like, you know what? No anal beads today or butt plugs. Thank you so much. I'll just take a classic little vibrator for when I'm on the road. She's like, okay, come look at this option. And then she's like, you don't want that one, honey. I'll burn your clit off. She was really taking me through I just had a great time. We were talking. I was like, you know what? I like this. I like this. I like that. It was a place where I could be fully open about my sexuality. And I mean, I'm a straight woman, so that there's not many kinks that I have, but I loved it. I found all the fantasy and the foreplay. And I did buy a cock ring with a vibrator on the end, and I didn't find that it really worked. My partner and I, my boyfriend at the time, I think it was my husband, I'm not really sure. She's like Elizabeth Taylor, this one, okay? We tried it on and it just didn't really, I was like, I feel like I'm so aware of it. It's kind of taken me out of it. I don't know. Maybe I need to try it again. But my first time, I found it just so great. I was like, ooh, I'll take that and I'll take that. And also, if you want the best cards, sex shops have the best and the funniest cards ever. I found myself in the card section buying for every occasion with my man, cracking up, stocking up. Some lube, little vibrator, little cards. This lady's like this with my cat, and she's like, would you like to pet my pussy? I was just like, oh, I'll take 2 of those. I'll take 1 of those. I had a great time. Please, any kind of shopping for me, honey. I'm into it. Dear Juju. Oh my God, this is hilarious. So she is riffing on a few episodes ago, my husband was come out of Target and I was like, ooh, that guy's hot. And I was like, oh shit, I'm married to that man. Look at me. She's talking about how that happened to her. She saw this guy looking at this lawnmower and then she was like, oh, he's hot. Ended up being her husband. So here's her dilemma. Should I tell him the story? I mean, he might think I have potential for a wandering eye. I haven't shared this with him. But yeah, when you see your own man and you don't realize that it's him and you think those thoughts, that's when you know you did bloody good by choosing. What should I do? Okay. Absolutely tell your husband. Are you kidding me? Okay, first of all, I don't pretend. I mean, I pretend in my head that I'm like in the south of France sometimes when I'm in my front yard. That's different. But let's stop pretending that as soon as we get married, we are not attracted to anybody else but our husbands. I mean, let me tell you, okay? That's not true for you, and that's not true for him, okay? This is just real. We're human. We see hot people. We get attracted to them. So what? Who cares? It's natural. It's honest. Even if you did want to bone them, you don't know how annoying they are or how they like to fight or if they can't say that they're sorry or if they don't take out the trash. That's all the shit you're privy to in a marriage. But just a little bone, that's so surface. Attraction and a bone. Yeah, let's not pretend like, oh, I'm married and I've never found another man attractive in my whole life. And you've never found a woman attractive either, right? Like, no. My dentist was fine. I came home and I told my husband that. Our dentist before that was, I don't know, she wasn't fine. She was all like Botoxed up. But my husband had a thing for her. Sometimes my husband has a thing for the checkout lady at Whole Foods and tells me about it. And we start laughing. Like, this is what you got to do. You got to stop pretending like you're human, okay? And the more you keep it open and out in the norm, that's how you know you have a good, strong relationship. Are we going to act on it? No, but it's hilarious to talk about. So yes, I came home and I told my husband right away, and I told the whole world. Hello, I put it on a podcast. I don't fake the funk with that. And you know what? It's almost kind of, because sometimes in a marriage, I get a little bit comfortable, right? Like my tummy right now is a little too big. This double chin, honey, I had to put all the dinner under because she's kind of gotten a little thickus in the past. And it's good for me to remember, oh shit, there's hot bitches out there. Let me go to the gym. How you doing? Let me make sure. We still got it going on. It's good to know I still want my husband to be attracted to me, and I still want to be attracted to my husband. We are way close, my husband and I. So close. Too close, probably. We fart in each other's faces, like it's a bit. And I don't think there's any secrets between us. Maybe there is. And you know what? If there is, who gives a shit? It's good. It's good to keep a little secret, something for yourself. If you don't feel comfortable talking about it, then don't. Do what's ever comfortable to you. But if it's because it's going to make him insecure or think this, that, and the other, no. Okay? We're attracted beings. This is what we do. This is who we are. Okay? So tell him the funny story. Remember that day I called you with the lawnmower? It's because I saw you and I wanted to bone you. And then I was like, oh shit, it's my husband. And isn't that so nice? Because it'll also remind him, oh shit, she does look at men, right? She doesn't just have eyes for me. Maybe I need to keep it cute, put it on mute. You know what I mean? I think it's good, a little healthy competizione, in my opinion, okay? So that's the podcast. Let's have a gin martini, filthy, some lobster bisque. Go get yourself a striped umbrella. Make sure to tell your husband or your partner or this, that, and the other that you accidentally found them attractive. It's good for them. Go to a sex toy shop next time you want a good card for your partner. What else? Oh, yeah. And thank you. Who has watched all 10 episodes? If you have, I don't know. I don't have anything to give away yet. It's coming soon. But I can't wait to see who's watched all 10 episodes. And if you do, when my launch happens, I'll give you a little something special. Don't forget that you're a star. You're made out of the stardust, bitch. Whether the world confirms it or not, you know it. You know you're the baddest bitch in the room. Walk like it. Talk like it. Do a Kegel. Squeeze your puss like it. I love you. Mwah! And I'm out.